Hey fam, I hope you're having a great beginning of the year. I hope everything's going well for you. I just want to say thank you for clicking onto this video, and please subscribe and press that like button. When you press the like button, it just helps like-minded people to connect. That's it. And that's what we want. We want like-minded people for us to connect. And that's what you're contributing to that when you press the like button. So the like button is actually very important because it's bringing us together. Because if you are watching my video, it means someone else who's watching similar videos might be able to see my video. So please press that like button. All right. In this video, I just want to talk about Prince AYOKO and ES. Right? Something happened a couple of weeks ago. They went hard at each other. They have now reconciled, and AYOKO has put up a video where he has actually apologized. Like a man. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When and I'm not saying he was wrong. Okay, he's apologized in the way he treated her. So for him to make it public and apologize, I think that's a good thing. But in this video, I'm not going to talk about their relationship. I wasn't there. The video clips that we see obviously don't show the full story, and I'm just not going to dwell into what happened. I don't know. But what I'm going to ask, what I'm going to talk about is how you can avoid that and just the way forward, and a few other things that you can avoid in Africa, because what do we call them? What can we call them? Intercontinental relationships between diaspora Africans and continental Africans. It's bound to happen. It's gonna happen. It already happens. My own sister, she's going out with an African American guy. And I'm sure a lot of African Americans, when they move to America, they marry. When continental Africans marry, a good number of them marry African American women. So it happens, right? But for people moving to the continent, there's just a little bit of a difference. And these are some of the things that I want to talk about. First of all, when you move to the continent and you choose to be in a relationship, and I think this is just not when it comes to Africa, it's just everywhere. Try to make sure you separate business and pleasure, or business and relationship. So don't go, because I'm dating him, then he can do this thing for me. Like I heard ES say, which was, in my opinion, maybe was a little bit too much, but then again, each to their own. Where she said, I paid you in a PUSSY. Don't be like that. Make sure if he's in a relationship with you, and he's a businessman, maybe you're doing similar things, communicate, talk about it. Say, you know what, I want this, that, I want this, that's going to cost me a lot of. If he comes up and says, you know what, baby, or whatever you guys will call yourselves, say, no, don't worry, I'll do it for you for free. And that's him saying it. Or he might say, okay, I'll give you a discount, I'll give you 50% discount. That's just business. Don't expect too much, because that's man's livelihood too. So don't expect maybe too much if you're just dating. You ain't married yet. And that's just, I don't think that's just like in Africa. That's just all over the world. All I'm going to say is just try to separate business from pleasure. The second part, this is more of a warning, right? This is a warning. In Africa, on the continent there's AIDS, right? I grew up there. I see a lot of people die. A lot of my family members dead from that shit. You know, and I know this is now global. You know, I know in America it's also killing a lot of people. Even in Europe, it's killing a lot of people. You know, whoever thought they're gonna inject Africans, because you know Africans got injected with this stuff. If you don't know now, you know. And proof is on YouTube. You can see all these non-governmental organizations that were coming there, telling people they're gonna give them jabs. They were jabbing them with AIDS. That's a well-known fact, and don't believe the hype. Actually, here I'm even gonna say this. This is how I'm a person who stands up for Africa. You know, and I'm gonna tell this story, right, about HIV. I'm in class. We're doing what course was that? Microbiology. We're doing a unit, microbiology, and we're talking about I think viruses. And this was one of those, you know, uni auditoriums, like big, because this particular unit had a few courses doing it. I think the guys doing pharmacy were doing it. The guys doing a few other courses as well who were also doing. So it was packed. There was probably like 300 students in that auditorium, man. And the lecturer starts talking about HIV and how it started, and he goes, you know, human intrusion into animals started in West Africa. And I'm not the biggest or the tallest African dude, or black dude, right? And there was a few black guys in there, so I'm looking at these guys, and the guys are like embarrassed. Now I'm telling you, I could look at them. These guys want where they were sitting, the chair to just open up and swallow them, or the ground to open up and swallow them. You know, and the lecturer says this. You know, HIV started in West Africa. These guys had the nerve to even say this. It started in West Africa due to human intrusion into animals. And I'm looking around going, what the, you know, what the F is going on here? I look around, I see most Africans, man, it's just this, you can tell, man, that the guy's embarrassed. I put my hand up. And he said, yeah, and he points at me, he goes, yes, please. I said, I don't agree with your statement, sir. Because you are implying that Africans are out there sleeping with animals. Now, born and lived in Africa, just got here a few months ago. You know, I was like, I think I was 19, I was 20 or 21. I'm 21 years old. I never saw an African, and I lived among African. You can say I'm African. My mom is African, my dad is African. Everyone I know is African. And not a single one of them was out there sleeping them with animals. You know, not a single person I know was sleeping with animals. And I'm gonna go even further. Africa has rock painting dating back 70,000. We can go back 70,000 years ago. The paintings from Cape Town to Cairo, from Cape Town to Tunis, paintings of how our ancestors lived. And not a single painting has been found to depict an African sleeping with an animal. Not a single painting. And I challenge anyone, you can look up. Not a single. You're going to see them hunting. You're going to see them sitting around the fire. You're going to even see them 70,000 years ago in Botswana. They were worshipping a god called Lowe. Sounds like Yahweh to me. Lowe. 70,000 years ago. There's no painting in Africa depicting Africans sleeping, our Africans today or Africans in the past, sleeping with animals. Now, and this is not for me to tell you like in Europe and whatever is bad, right? So when you cross over the when we cross the Mediterranean, we go to Europe. We even go further up to where people are as white as they can be, right? It's not going to take you long to find paintings, sculptures of men sleeping with animals. How do you think we got the word horsepower? That's because Europeans were sleeping with horses, and they believed the horses will give them the power. That's why we got today horsepower. So every time you say my car is running on, it's got a whatever 300 whatever horsepower, that's where that came from. Not in Africa. I also said at that time, Ripley, the chick from the girl from the Alien movies. What's her name? Yeah, that girl from the Alien movies. The name is just gone. I know her name. Yeah, she was in Rwanda looking at the gorillas, and I would like everyone to go and look at that video. The guy who was the guide was actually stepping away from the gorilla. The white lady, Ripley, whatever her name is in the Alien movies, she was out there trying to get close to the gorilla. Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, so lovely. You know, and when you just look on YouTube videos, you're never gonna see Africans playing with animals like that. We don't know animals like that. We see a lion, we're killing it. You know, because we don't want it to terrorize us. That's why when you're in Africa, it's very rare you're gonna hear Africans being attacked by lions. Because we see a lion, we know how to maneuver through the trees. You know, something. We see a rhino, we know how to maneuver. You don't see, you don't hear black people getting attacked in Africa by lions. It's the tourists that go there because they want to get close and hug the animals and kiss them and do all sorts of weird stuff that we don't even understand in Africa. We're just there looking, going, damn! We don't understand it. We don't do stuff like that. Anyway, I didn't add that with my lecture. And but I ended up with saying, you know, horsepower. That's how the horsepower thing came about, because Europeans are sleeping with animals. You know, and I gave an example with Ripley. I'm like, Africans are actually scared of some of these animals. You know, it's fight or flight every time we see one of them. Okay? So either we are hunting for meat or we are keeping them away. We don't go there and massacre all the animals because we are in tune with nature. But that was just an example, you know, that's just an addition I've just added to. But during this lecture I said, you know, you go to Europe and this, and I gave an example of Ripley. The whole class went quiet. The whole class went quiet. The whole auditorium was quiet. Even the lecturer was just quiet. And then when I finished, he just said, oh, okay, that's what he said. And he continued on. But I had put a thought, I'd put something in everyone in that auditorium, I put something in their head. And guess what happened next time we had the same lecture? I had people coming up to me. First, when we left, they were like, bro, all the Africans came and shook my hand. Oh, that was good. I'm like, guys, come on. We gotta stand up for Africa. We gotta stand up for ourselves. Because only us know what has happened. We have to stand up. Even the white guys came up to me. You know, but then what happened was, the next time we had the lecture, how many people? I had a line of people coming up to me. Oh, bro, the stuff you talked about, the horsepower, man, you were right. I looked it up. Yeah, that's where the word came from. Jeez. You know, and all these were white people. They learned something. Not just living with the mindset of, oh, it's African banging out there sleeping with animals. You know, we have to stand up for Africa. All right? I know I went on a tangent here. But there's eggs on the continent, made in the lab, injected to Africans, made in the lab somewhere in America, obviously, and injected to Africans. So you gotta be wary of that. You know, the thing is there is that you gotta go for your HIV test. So if you're in a relationship, we all know condoms break all the time. So if you're in a relationship, please go have your HIV check. If you meet someone there, get checked. Secondly, I'm gonna talk about if you're a female, you're gonna get a lot of people loving you. You know, Africans don't understand how most Africans, there's people that understand it now. But you hear a lot of people saying, "Yeah, I love you." You know, they want to marry you or something like that. If you're a female, you're gonna hear that a lot. But that's just they don't know how to say things like courtship. Say, I'm really interested in you. When you hear they love you and you've just met them for the first time, they're attracted to you. But they can't say I'm attracted to you, or I like you, you're beautiful. Okay. So they'll think I love you. It's probably like the right way to say. So it's up to you now to go through that BS, and you can say, what, you just met me. You know what I love you means. It's not about trying to say you are more important than them. No, but try to understand the culture and where they're coming from, and you might also like them, and you start a relationship. You say, this is what we're gonna do, and believe me, they're gonna oblige. They're gonna follow us, as you say, if they understand, if they're really into you. But you're also gonna find married people sometimes telling that they love you, because in some countries, obviously, in some countries they're allowed to have, multiple women. So it's up to you. I'm sure even ES, apparently AYOKO has already got 2 wives, but it's up to you guys. There's nothing here that says, you can't do this or you can't do that. Whatever you want to get involved with, that's up to you. Right? But I'm just telling you, you're gonna hear a lot of people say, I love you, I love you, I love you. It's just it's probably what they'll think is a pickup line, because sometimes courtship in African tradition is not a common thing. People still have, parents looking for their for a wife or a husband for them, and they've never met the person. It's like arranged marriages in India. Sometimes even in Africa that happens, And then secondly, what for especially women, when you move there, please do your research about how much you pay for cabs and how much you pay for things. But most importantly, I think have friends there, because I'm hearing a lot of people are complaining about this scamming. My cousin got, I sent a truck once over Dar es Salaam. I'm from Zambia. You have to use either Dar es Salaam or Wavis Bay, depending on where the truck was coming from. This one was coming from Japan, so we had to use Dar es Salaam. My cousin went there. He's Zambian. He doesn't speak Swahili, and he got ripped off by taxis, by everybody. He was ripping them off because he doesn't speak their language. So it's not just African Americans, even Africans within. I heard someone, even when they go to Jamaica, they are Jamaican, but the moment they hear their accent, the prices go up. Some of it is not even, personally, I would rather pay extra to someone than even pay to charity, you know what I mean? But just do your research there, especially if, women there that are moving there with single moms and all that stuff. Do your research. If it's not Rwanda, at least you will be a little bit better, maybe if better, because they have their own Uber in Rwanda, and they put in your phone number and it just charges you. They're not trying to rip you off. And once you have that ticket and the trip and everything is recorded, if you don't like the price, you can challenge it. And believe me, in Rwanda, you get your voice in. So do your research on prices. And then I would also encourage, like, if you're a YouTuber, don't make your relationship public. Unless maybe like you guys get married, or if you're both into it, or when you start some of the stuff like the arguments, let's not create some sort of R&B divas, or what's that, love and hip hop, or that kind of environment. Let's not do that. Let's have our private lives maybe private, or if you are both YouTubers, but when it comes to drama, try to have a policy that says, when we break up or whatever, it's just between you and I, and that's it. No one has to know about. We can tell people like, oh, we broke up, so people know, but they don't have to see the messy of whatever transpired and all that stuff. You know, that's just my opinion. And I think if we keep it nice and clean on YouTube, you know, it's respectful. It is, you know. So that's what I'm gonna say. You know, watch out, be careful with I think AIDS. I think always go for a test. Remember, condoms break. I'm going for a test all the time. If I'm one of you guys in Africa, every time I meet someone, I say, hey, we're gonna go together. You know, let's get tested, and stuff like that. You know, and just be careful. You know, when people say they love you, doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to insult you or anything like that. Then their culture, you know. Then the second part is do your research. Find people that are already living in a place where you're moving to, and you have to remember, negotiate. That's the key. That's the key. When it comes to prices in Africa, it's about negotiating, you know. All right, guys, that's all I had for this one. I hope I dropped a point or two that are important to you. And I just want to say thank you for watching my videos. I got very, very interesting videos that I'm gonna post in the next couple of weeks. Very interesting videos. I'm gonna take off from what I said about racism being a fallacy and all that stuff, and just a few things I found out. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and like and share the video. Thank you. Goodbye.